We're getting you all the top corporate views on Budget 2024 right here on NDTV Profit, and I'm in conversation now with Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, founder and executive chairperson of Biocon. Ma'am, great to speak with you on NDTV Profit and, get your view on the budget. Let me start with your sector, the healthcare sector, and others we spoke to from this space. Their first response was good budget, but a tad disappointment that more was not done for healthcare. What would you say?
I've always been, crying for investment in research and innovation, and I was happy that the government finally made a serious plug for investing in this area. I think they clearly talked about research and innovation, not only in agri, but also in every other sector. Of course, it remains to be seen how much of that 1 lakh crore will come to the pharma sector and how it will come, whether it's in the form of grants, whether it is in the form of tax incentives. So let's wait for that. But at least it's a step in the right direction. As far as the duty exemption on 2 cancer drugs is concerned, I think that's just symbolism. I think what I would like to see is GST exemption on all cancer drugs and all cancer diagnostics, because that is what really will reduce out-of-pocket expenses for patients, because these are expensive treatments and we need to focus on affordability.
Okay, so more could have been done on diagnostics and healthcare overall, but the big push in this budget is undoubtedly on employment, and I want to get your view there because we keep speaking consistently about jobs and what the budget can do for jobs. Do you think that everything in the armory possible was used? Are you happy with what they have done for jobs and incentivizing employers?
Well, Tamanna, I think, jobs has been a focus in this budget. And I think they've focused on skilling and skill development through internship, which I think is the right approach in terms of focusing on employability and jobs for the future. And I think it is a win-win to basically marry government subsidies in internships with CSR. So I think that's the right approach. So let's see how it all pans out. But right now we know that there are a large number of manufacturing opportunities that India is trying to address. And for that, you really need a large skill force. And if you can actually use, this internship program to skill your labor force or your manufacturing workforce, then I think you have a good chance of getting a lot of that manufacturing coming our way.
In terms of the internship program and also the subsidy for new employees for EPFO, do you think that incentivizes, and I'm not talking about only large companies like yourselves, the idea is to have more smaller companies also go out and hire more. Is there enough of an incentive from an employer perspective?
I don't really subscribe to that as much as I subscribe to the internship program. So that's where I will sort of, rest my comments.
12-month internship works from the CSR fund?
I think internships can work very well because, a lot of countries have very successfully shown that internship and apprenticeship programs really work very well in terms of employability, employment, and of course, upskilling.
In terms of push to manufacturing, and I'll get one comment from you on this, it was expected that the PLI schemes would be doubled down upon, you would create more incentives for companies to come and expand manufacturing. That wasn't really done. Likewise, no clarity on whether the 15% corporate tax rate incentives will be continued or not. Would you have hoped to hear more on that?
So let's hope that it will continue. Sometimes you feel that if it's unsaid, it means that it's continuing. I really would like to see the 15% tax rate apply both to greenfield and brownfield projects, because I think in brownfield projects, they're trying to upgrade their facilities and modernize their facilities. So that also needs a 15% tax incentive, in terms of the tax rate. But I think in terms of the PLI scheme, they have basically indicated that they will not expand the scope of the PLI scheme beyond the sectors that they have addressed right now. But I would like to see the PLI scheme increasing in allocation because there is a need for capital employment by industry.
Just to wrap up, what would be your one big positive and one thing that you found wanting in terms of the budget announcements?
I think overall, I would say that the budget really signaled very positively that they wanted to focus on certain economic drivers. One being, of course, jobs. The climate initiatives, green technologies, cutting edge future technologies, and of course, research and innovation. So I have no, complaints on those fronts. I think we didn't hear enough about GST rationalization, and maybe that's something that we will have to wait for.
Yeah, and perhaps GST rationalization is also something that the GST Council has to look at. So we'll wait for that. It's also a stated aim. But thank you so much for speaking with us today. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw there welcoming the budget and especially the allocations on R&D.